Hi there. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for stopping by here at Life's Many Journeys, where on my channel I discuss the various different journeys that we go through, that we travel during this wonderful thing called life. Today is a gray hair journey update. If you're familiar with some of my previous videos, I've been going through a transition as I have suffered from, I shouldn't even call it suffering. It is premature graying. Everybody in my family, I've got six sisters and three brothers that all suffer from early gray. 48 years old, and I've had gray hairs in my head since I was a child. And after having, just to give you a little bit of background, after having gone through many years of coloring and coloring and coloring, and it just became that the grays were more than the black or the brown, and it was just impossible to keep up with the coloring. I would color, and then 2 weeks later, new growth, the grays were just peeking through, and it was just me chasing my grays, chasing them, trying to keep them under wraps. And the more I tried, the more they said, no, I'm sorry. So after going through some life changes last year, including the loss of a job and trying to find new direction in my life, this was one of the things that I decided that that was going to change, that it was time. The time had come, and I wasn't going to live that life anymore of just chasing my grays. Started this journey probably officially, I'd have to say it was in October. The end of October, beginning of November of 2018. So we are now in September. So 10 months, a little shy of 10 months coming in, and this is what I look like. So yeah, it is pretty much fully in. I went to the hairdresser about 2 weeks ago. She gave me a really good cut. I had thought she had gotten all of the brown, but I see there's a little bit of brown left on those ends right there. But she had taken a lot off, so it's so I mean, I've said in my previous videos that I wouldn't go back. I think the freedom that it represents to just not be in terror. Oh my gosh, my grays are showing, or oh my gosh, I can't wear my hair in braids, because with the parted braids, you see everything. Yeah, life is just too short for that to be like a source of anxiety. Like, there's too many other things that are going to be tossed our way through our journey through this life, and for that to be one of them, I just didn't think it was that important anymore. I'm gonna insert some pictures of just some styles, how I've been wearing my hair. I mean, my last update was probably a month ago, or maybe, yeah, it was probably a month ago, a month and a half ago, probably even. So I'm just gonna, probably 2 months actually, I'm gonna just insert some pictures of how I've been wearing my hair for the last little bit, so that you can see what I've been doing. yeah, so just doing my own thing. Sometimes I'll use hair pieces. Other times I'll just you know put it up in an impromptu bun. Like it doesn't matter, but it's just having the freedom to be able to do that and not having to consistently don a wig because 2 weeks after I go to my hairdresser and get my hair color, um, and then I'll spend maybe another week or week and a half using them touch up sticks that mess up everything. Um, you scratch your head, and then all of a sudden you got that stuff in your fingernails. And I remember being at work, and then it would get all over my papers because I didn't realize I scratched my head, and it was that, and then it's all over my paper. So and then after that week and a half, then it was like wearing wigs again until it was time to go back to the hairdresser, because you can't just go back to the hairdresser like every 2 weeks to get color. You just don't do it, right? So, that was my process. So then I'd live in wigs for the remainder of the time. And, if I couldn't get to the hairdresser promptly, then I'd have a month where I'm just wearing wigs. So it's nice to just have that freedom to just go, just do your hair and go, style your hair and go. And, I could just actually get up and go like this. Whereas before, the only time I could just get up and go with my hair like this was in that 2 weeks before everything starts showing. This is it. This is how my grays are. They're speckled throughout, but there's areas at the back here that are like really white. And if you can see those, that's just like really, really white back there. And I actually kind of wish that all of it was that way. And I actually would prefer that. But it is what it is, and I'm embracing it. And but I also want to be open about things that I've experienced or am experiencing through this journey as well. Because I want anyone else that is preparing to do this, like, you'll have people that'll say things like, "Are you crazy?" And I've remember my best friend, she had said something along the lines in the beginning that, yeah, you'll go back to coloring, you know what I mean? Because I just didn't think that people, it's almost like some people are like, it blows their mind that you could ever possibly, like my daughter, it blows her mind that I could even consider doing something like this. And it's like, and she said something or the other to me. I can't remember the entire conversation, but we were talking about something, and I said something about my grays, and then she said, "Well, you were the one that decided to turn gray or something like that." I said, "I didn't decide." I said, "This is my hair." I mean, this is not really a decision as far as I'm concerned, because this is naturally how I am. So I said, if I wanted to be black, have black hair, and consistently keep that, then to me, then that's like a conscious decision, because you're making that effort to do that. But to me, this is not, although it is a decision of sorts, because I'm deciding to stay with my natural color, it's not something that I could change permanently. Let's put it that way. It just is what it is. If I'm just being me and getting up every day and being me, this is what me looks like. It's not going to be black hair. It's not going to be brown hair. It's not going to be anything else. If I'm just being me, this is what me looks like. So it was funny when she said that, and it was like as if I decided to do something wrong, or the decision I made, I was unnatural. And I had to like explain to her, I didn't decide. This is what nature gave me. Right? This is it. And I'm just, the only decision I made is to embrace it the way in its natural form. Right? So, you'll hear people say things, but you'll also have experiences, and I'll give an example of one. I was at the Shoppers Drug Mart, was at the counter, buying, paying for my items, and the cashier said to me, um, what was the line? Oh, it today is national. She didn't use the word seniors, but she said over 55. National Discount Day for 55 and older is what she said. So I just said back to her, I said, yeah, I said, not there yet. Very far from there, actually. I said, don't let all the gray hairs fool you. And she just said, no, 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 I just had to say. And then the gentleman beside me, who was a senior, he's like, there is no way you're a senior citizen. I said, it's the hair. And I just gray early. But she seemed so embarrassed. And I said to her, I go, really? She goes like, I had to ask because, some people, they come up and they go, well, I'm a senior. Why don't I get a senior's discount? So she's like, I just try to cover my bases. So she saw the gray hair, and that was her covering her bases. So I said to her, I go, so really, I could have just said yes and gotten the discount? And she's like, maybe, but after I looked at your face, I probably would. So it was this whole conversation at the counter about me, my gray hair, and being 55 and older. So it was a little uncomfortable for her. I wasn't uncomfortable at all because I laughed through the whole thing and I didn't feel. And you know what? I should have actually asked my daughter after that how she felt, because she's probably the strongest, about me not doing this. I mean, she hasn't been really vocal about it because she internalizes a lot. She deals with anxiety and depression and all that, and she internalizes a lot. I probably should have asked her how she felt in that moment. Because it didn't bother me. We laughed. I heard my daughter laughing too and whatever. But it's just, it's not all sunshine and roses in that, because let's face it, gray hair has that stigma attached to it that if you're gray, you're old. That's it. Another incident I had, I was visiting a friend. I was with a friend. Me and him, we were just sort of just hanging out, and he had come up from Jamaica and had come to visit me. So we were hanging out, and he took me to a friend of his. So as we walked through the door, his friend's mother, or his friend's aunt, she was coming down the stairs. So we walked through the front door. She's coming down the stairs towards us. So as she was coming down the stairs, he's saying hello. I was saying hello to her. She was coming down, and he said something about, oh, he was supposed to come earlier, but he was tied up with his mother. She didn't hear him coming down, and she's like, oh, is this your mother? And he's like, no, this is my friend. And that made me feel bad. I was like, what? She thinks I'm his mother? But I was like, okay, she's a distance away. She's coming down the stairs. She sees gray. That's the first thing that she sees is gray. So she's thinking old, right? So, but then the evening went on, and we were in the backyard by the pool, and well, he was in the pool. I didn't go there for that. And we were sitting at the table, and she was there, and we were having like great conversations and whatnot. And then, but throughout the conversation, she was sort of putting me in her age group. Now, if I were to make a guess, and just maybe even just by the age of her children, because she has grown children, like children in their late 30s. So I would say that she's because she's not retired yet. She's still working. So she's at least 60 or 59, like in that age group at least. So, she kept talking, and she's like, when she was saying things and, telling her stories, and she's like, so me and you, we can't do that. Like stuff like that. Like when she's talking about like things that younger people would do. And I would agree, because some of the stuff she was talking about, I wouldn't do it. But like she was putting me in the same age group as her. Mind you, her hair is colored. I can tell. But the wrinkles on her face tell me, her age. And I was just like, wow, and I was thinking to myself while she's having the conversation, I'm like, is it that just that she thinks that, I mean, because I'm not nowhere near to be classified as a young person, right? I mean, if I'm talking about like, look at that kid, and when I say look at that kid, that could be like a 30-year-old, and I'm still calling them a kid. But I'm 48. That you just get to a certain age, and that's what you do, right? So I don't know if it was sort of that, or if she really, because the things that she was talking about, she knew even my age group, in late 40s wouldn't do it, let alone, late 50s, early 60s or whatever. Or if she really thought I was in her age group. So anyways, that was something that it kind of bothered me. That one did bother me. But quickly got over that. So just, you're going to have things that you'll have to deal with. You're going to have people say things. You're going to have people not agree with your decision. People ask you if you're crazy. People even do a double take when they look at you sometimes. Yeah, you'll deal with it. I still don't think I would change my decision, because the freedom that it's given me, I think, outweighs anything that I would deem as negative. And I don't even deem those things really as negative. It's just, it's life. And people are put in categories. That is never going to change. And the category is you gray, you old. That's it. That's that category. Move on. And I don't see that changing anytime soon. So, because even if my 16-year-old daughter puts it in that context, that tells you, that's life. You're gray, you're old. That's it. But a new one has come up, and I'm not going to talk too much about that in this video. But I will touch on it a little bit more in my next video, because I will probably have a little bit more to talk about it then. But age discrimination. Now that's a real consideration, because now that I'm in that category where you're gray, you're old, I have to really think about that. And the first time that actually became a consideration for me was recently. One of the things is I've been trying to build like a home-based business. I'm a bookkeeper. I do taxes, and I've been trying to sort of build on that. I also considered that, I would go out and maybe get a part-time job, just so that I get that feeling, because after doing that for many, many years, that's like another whole video on a transition of, that professional transition that you have to go through when you have had a job for many, many years doing one thing, and then you have to change. And where do you go? How do you go? How do you make that transition? And so the at-home thing, while it's very good for me and a good option for me right now, I miss that going out and sitting at conversing with people and brainstorming with people and all of that, and the satisfaction that sort of brings too, and then that packing up at the end of the day and coming home. And while I do not want to have a full-time job, that I am doing that for many health reasons anymore, and in that hustle and bustle, I would want to do a part-time. And very recently, after applying for a couple and then it was like, it was just, I was like, oh my gosh, so hold on. When I go for my interview, I think I'm going to have to wear a wig because am I going to have age discrimination? Because there, like, nowhere on your resume does it say how old you are, right? And like, I'm gonna walk into the room and they're gonna automatically think, what? I'm not gonna hire this old woman. So yeah, so literally, like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, I'm gonna, and I was like, I'm gonna have to wear a wig for the interview. I mean, if I get the job, then psh, off that comes, but just for the interview, so I don't have that first impression. Anyways, I'll discuss it further. Oh, wow. See, look, my hair is even falling out. Well, that's been for a while, and it could be my medication that does that. Um, but yeah, that's another, look at that. That's another whole discussion, and we'll talk about that. Falling hair everywhere. It's We'll talk about that next time, folks. Until then, my next video, however, will be a weight loss update. That's another journey that I've embarked on. Weight loss. Oh, what a topic. So, my next video, video should be up maybe next week sometime. So look forward to that one. And we'll discuss more of the age discrimination, potential age discrimination, and how you deal with that going through gray hair transitioning. How do you deal with that, because that's a big one. And I'll let you know how it goes from me. All right, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Like, subscribe, and share this video. Talk to you later. Bye.